This week on Vallo News, a twister touches down in South Alabama, tearing through a campground full of people on vacation. Hear from a married couple who rode out the storm inside of their camper.
It was going to come down to it. He was going to have to work to kill me.
He took that opportunity and wrestled with this guy until the gun went flying, and then the dude took off running.
Hear from the man who is being called a hero after confronting a gunman who opened fire in a Tennessee Waffle House, killing four people and injuring several others. And breaking this afternoon, police have now captured the shooter.
Plus, lettuce alert, find out why the CDC is telling people to throw away romaine lettuce and not eat salads at restaurants. Vallo News starts right now. Hello and welcome to Vallo News. I'm Joseph Markell.
And I am Monique O'Neill. Thank you so much for joining us for our final newscast of the semester.
Cleanup is underway in South Alabama after a tornado tore through a campground Sunday.
A police dash cam caught the tornado touching down and falling. The twister tossed several RVs on their side, sending some people to the hospital. Reporter Shelby Myers talked to a couple who survived the tornado inside of their camper.
I was terrified. I was holding on, and there was nothing we could do. We couldn't get out. We wouldn't want to get out.
Martha and Jerry Wright could hear the roar as an EF0 tornado passed over their camper.
Tried to get everything secured as much and fast as we could, and our coach was shaking violently. Finally got our slides in, and it was over.
The strength of the twister flipped 5 campers on their sides, sending 4 people to the hospital, leaving Anchors Away RV Park in disarray.
We had at least 2 of those RVs with people entrapped that were somewhat mobile but hadn't been able to get their way out. So we immediately tried to prioritize which ones were the most significantly injured because we did get information that we had some injuries. We did remove 3 victims that had serious enough injuries to be transported.
The Wrights watched it all unfold.
I had to break the windows out and then lift them out. And, both of them had, one went out the back and one out the door, as the door was up in the air.
That was Shelby Myers recording. According to the National Weather Service, the tornado was 1.6 miles long, 100 yards wide, and had maximum winds of 80 miles an hour.
Breaking this afternoon, the man police say shot and killed 4 people and injured 4 others at a Tennessee Waffle House is now in custody. Police tweeted Monday afternoon that 29-year-old Travis Ryan King had been captured after a 34-hour manhunt. Officials found him in a wooded area less than a mile away from the scene. Investigators say he was heavily armed and partially naked when he opened fire Sunday morning. That's when customer James Shaw Jr. sprang into action.
At the time that he was either reloading or the gun jammed or whatever happened is when I ran through the swivel door. I hit him with the swivel door, and then the gun was kind of jammed up and it was pushed down, so we were scuffling. And I managed to get him with one hand on the gun, and then I grabbed it from him and I threw it over the countertop.
Shaw suffered minor injuries, including cuts and an injured elbow, while he fought off the gunman. Police said that they believe Shaw's actions and quick thinking saved many lives.
It's a boy for Prince William and Duchess Kate.
The as-yet unnamed prince is home now, resting and getting to know his parents and siblings. Kristen Holmes has the latest on the royal baby.
An introduction fit for a prince. The Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton, giving birth to a healthy baby boy in London Monday. Princess Kate and Prince William beaming while presenting their newborn to crowds of spectators outside the hospital. Born at 11 a.m. local time and weighing 8 pounds 7 ounces, the couple's 3rd child will be 5th in line to the British throne. And due to new succession laws changed after 1,000 years, for the first time in history, Princess Charlotte will remain 4th in line despite another son being born. Prince William bringing children 4-year-old George and 2-year-old Charlotte to the hospital to meet their new brother ahead of the departure back to Kensington Palace. As fans gathered outside to welcome the new royal family member.
It's been absolutely fantastic. I wouldn't have missed this for the world.
It's a very great day.
10 years down the line, I can say I was there when he was born.
I'm Kristen Holmes reporting.
Now to an urgent safety alert. The CDC is expanding its warning about an E. coli outbreak connected to romaine lettuce. It now covers all forms of romaine lettuce, including whole heads and hearts of romaine grown in Yuma, Arizona area. More than 50 people in at least 16 states have gotten sick. The CDC says consumers should throw out any romaine lettuce in their homes if they are uncertain about where it was grown. It also says people should avoid eating romaine at restaurants unless the establishment can confirm the lettuce is not from Yuma. The exact cause of the outbreak has not been identified.
The University of Montevallo has broken ground on its next major construction project. Last Thursday, UM President Dr. John Stewart, College of Fine Arts Dean Dr. Stephen Peters, and several other dignitaries and donors shoveled dirt at the ceremonial groundbreaking for the new Center for the Arts. The new multi-million-dollar facility will be built on the old Jeter site between campus and downtown. The Center for the Arts will feature a new theater, black box, and gallery space. It's scheduled to be completed in time for the fall 2019 semester. Civil rights groups are condemning Alabama Governor Kay Ivey's support for keeping Confederate statues and monuments up statewide. The Alabama NAACP held a briefing Saturday to oppose Ivey's support of the Alabama Memorial Preservation Act. Critics say the measure, which Ivey signed into law last May, protects the state's Confederate monuments. Ivey, who's running for a full term as governor this year, released a campaign ad this week touting her support for the measure. And that has the NAACP crying foul.
There are a lot of other things that she could have made the hallmark of her campaign: education, our horrible criminal justice system. She could have talked about those things that are very, very important to the state of Alabama.
In the ad, Ivey says she stood up to so-called special interests who wanted to take down monuments. In a statement, the Ivey campaign says the ad highlights why the state cannot and should not change, erase, or tear down history.
Syracuse University has permanently expelled the campus chapter of Theta Tau fraternity. The move comes days after video surfaced of Theta Tau members exhibiting what the school called extremely racist behavior, including students acting out a racist anti-Semitic oath. University president says a letter was delivered to the fraternity Saturday informing members of the decision to expel the chapter. Syracuse says school authorities have already interviewed 38 students regarding the video, and more interviews are planned. Students involved could face possible suspicion or expulsion. The FAA is ordering all airlines to inspect engines similar to the one that killed a woman in mid-flight last Tuesday when a fan blade broke off. Airlines must use ultrasound technology to inspect certain engines made by CFM International. They have 20 days to perform the inspections upon receiving the FAA's Emergency Airworthiness Directive. FAA officials say that the naked eye cannot detect the cracks and signs of metal fatigue that led to Tuesday's accident aboard a Southwest flight.
A memorial service was held in New Mexico Sunday for the woman killed last week in that Southwest Airlines accident. Jennifer Riordan was a well-known community leader, mother, wife, and Wells Fargo banking executive. She was headed back home to New Mexico when a Southwest Airlines jet engine failed midair and its debris blew up a window. Southwest Airlines said she was the first person in the company's history to die from an in-flight accident.
Barbara Bush was laid to rest Saturday after more than 5 decades in the public eye. The former First Lady the First Lady is being remembered for her devotion to country and family. Kim Hutchinson has more.
Family and friends gathered Saturday to remember Barbara Bush, celebrating the life and legacy of the former First Lady.
She was candid and comforting, steadfast and straightforward, honest and loving. Barbara Bush was the First Lady of the greatest generation.
Her husband of 73 years, former President George H.W. Bush, was in the front row. The couple's 5 children, including former President George W. Bush, sat nearby. Some of the most prominent names in American politics crossed party lines to pay their respects. First Lady Melania Trump sat alongside former presidents and former First Ladies. Speakers paid tribute to Barbara Bush's work in and out of the public eye.
We learn to strive to be genuine and authentic by the best role model in the world. Her authentic plastic pearls, her not culling her hair. By the way, she was beautiful till the day she died. Her hugging of an HIV/AIDS patient at a time when her own mother wouldn't do it. Her standing by her man with a little rhyming poetry in the 1984 election. In 1,000 other ways, Barbara Pierce Bush was real, and that's why people admired her and loved her so.
A private internment service was held after the funeral. Barbara Bush was buried at her husband's presidential library in College Station, Texas. I'm Kim Hutcherson reporting.
Remember, there's always more news 24/7 on our social media pages.
Just search for Vallo Vision News on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for more stories throughout the week.
Still ahead on Vallo Vision News, want to ride off into the sunset with a new motorcycle?
See why Harley-Davidson is giving away new bikes to their interns. We'll be right back. Grammy-nominated Swedish DJ Avicii was found dead in Muscat, Oman, at the age of 28.
Known for his grueling touring schedule, he retired from performing in 2016 after a string of health issues, including acute pancreatitis. Avicii's publicist said in a statement that the family's devastated and they asked for privacy at this time. These images are from a concert he did in his home country of Sweden in 2016.
The shoes worn by Michael Jackson when he performed his signature moonwalk for the first time on stage are going up for auction. The king of pop wore the black leather loafers during rehearsals for the Motown 25 TV special in 1983. They'll be auctioned off May 26. They estimate that the loafers will sell for around $10,000. Jackson's performance of Billie Jean for the Motown 25 special marked the debut of the moonwalk.
College students across the country need to rev up their resumes if they want to score the internship of a lifetime. Harley-Davidson is upping the internship game by not only paying 8 lucky students, but loading them up with perks. The interns will be traveling all over the U.S. on a motorcycle to document their experiences on social media. The students will be taught to ride, paid for their 12 weeks of work, and at the end, they get to keep their bikes. The program is aimed at communications and marketing students to help promote the brand's social media image. The students must be 18 years old. Applications are due May 11th, and we've placed a link with more info on our Facebook page. So, what do you think? Are you going to go for the internship?
Probably not, because my mom is terrified of her children being on motorcycles.
Well, I actually think I might check it out because my grandpa used to race motorcycles, so maybe I can get kind of that angle in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be cool. That's all the time we have for today's show. Thanks for watching Vallo Vision News this semester.
We want to wish everyone good luck on their finals, and we hope you have a safe and relaxing summer vacation. Be sure to tune in to Vallo Vision News again this fall.